This is Story Skeptic, and this week's thoughts are on archetypes versus nuance, or simplicity versus complexity, or black and white versus shades of grey. Like, what's best about how you write characters? And I feel a lot of kind of the old writings is more archetypal, stereotypical, good and evil characters, which is not that realistic, but it makes for good stories. And now, today, in more modern storytelling, we have a lot more complexity and nuance to our main characters. But what's best? Well, the boring but most true answer would be it depends. A nuanced answer would be I don't have a black and white answer for this question. But if I was pressed on time, I would pick simplicity. A more black and white answer would be long stories favor complexity, short stories favor simplicity. But one thing that can help you decide if you're gonna write a archetypical character or a more nuanced one is just the length of your story. Long stories, novels, long shows, and so on, both are viable with a tilt toward complexity and shades of grey. It's just more interesting. You have more time to follow characters and develop them. On the other hand, short works, especially short films, just a couple of minutes, it really favors simplicity and black and white thinking. Now, what are the pros of each version? Because a character can't have one and the other at the same time. You kind of have to choose. Archetypes, clear message, great for greater than life characters and heroes. It becomes more mythical almost. It can also be more of an idea than a character, an embodiment of evil or good, or any other trait you would like. The pros for complexity, nuance, shades of grey are in psychology. The characters become more alive, more realistic and believable, more real than its mythical counterpart. For example, Hercules, Gandalf, Voldemort. These are the mythical, more black and white characters. But a character who's not clear-cut is often the most interesting to us, just how we might recognize ourselves in them. It reflects human character and relationships a lot more realistic and thus becomes more interesting to witness. The con for both of these versions is that it loses the other. How can you get the best of both worlds here? It's just simply by having multiple characters. You can have some characters who are like the Gandalf character, who is essentially just an embodiment of good. And then you can have like Gollum, who is kind of very torn between good and evil. And then in the same story, you get both of the characters. That's the nice thing. You can have both at the same time. Just use two characters. But there is something to say about like only doing one type of character in the whole story. So you have the good knight fighting the evil dragon. You get these heroic stories. And if you really like cultivate this good and evil, you can get monsters like the Balrog, which is just pure evil. On the other hand, if you make all the characters humane in a way, you make all of them realistic, complex, real, true characters, you get something more akin to Game of Thrones. It can be exciting to follow characters who you don't know exactly what they're gonna do. And as usual, I would like to hear what your thoughts are on the topic. And if there's any topic you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments. See you next week. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Peace out.